Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to be putting together 2 mini greenhouses that I'm going to be using in my mobile home small bedroom. I'm going to be making the entire thing into a winterized greenhouse for the winter and for my plants next spring. This is going to include 2 mini greenhouses with covers. They each have shelves. I believe that they're both 4-tier each, and on each of these shelves are going to be able to put heat mats, lights, and maybe 2 trays each of all the plants that I want to grow. The reason why we are doing this now is to be prepared for next spring. I'm also going to be turning the rest of that small bedroom into a greenhouse using the porch plants, so I'm going to be bringing all of those in. They will probably not have the heat mats and the lights, but they will be out of the winter weather and hopefully be able to survive throughout the weather. And then once the heat hits next year, I'll bring them all back out onto the porch. But in today's video, we're going to be putting together those 2 greenhouses just to prep for next year's sowing of the seeds, because last year I really didn't have a good setup. I have all of my Airbnb stuff in the closet, which is what I used 2 years ago. It was more of a better setup just because it had more confined space where the lights could hit all of the plants, and I had just enough heat mats to control all of the plants that I had on them. This year I kind of expanded, but because all the Airbnb stuff is in that closet now, I had to create a new section, and it worked out, but a lot of plants died. There wasn't consistent heat, there wasn't consistent light. We're gonna fix that this year. I was on Facebook, I got a couple recommendations from some other gardener friends, and they suggested to get these mini greenhouses with shelves, and they explained to put the heat mats there, the lights, as well as 1 or 2 trays of seeds to be sown for the spring. So it's all going to be set up this year, and we are going to be prepared for next spring. This is the room that's going to be becoming a greenhouse. Right now I've got my herbal garden harvest hanging up here. I did that video last week, and these are still drying. There's all of my remodel stuff right here, which I'm going to be taking all that out of here. This is all my plant stuff, but this is the area that we're going to be putting together these 2 greenhouses. They're just going to be set up now so that I can be prepared for the spring. These 2 greenhouses are what we're going to be assembling, and it is similar to the one that is outside, except the one outside is maybe triple or quadruple the size of one of these. So we don't want that inside this room, but we do want the moisture to be kept in with this cover that's around it, and each of them has a flat level layer, and people recommended little mini greenhouses and the heat mats and lights for each of the shelves. Hopefully this is going to be easier to put together than the one outside. The ones outside needed a little bit more room, of course. Now, hopefully this does keep up because it's plastic. It's not very sturdy. Even these shelves they're wire, but they're not as thick of wire as, say, a regular utility shelf would have. All right. Now, this does seem fairly easy. It doesn't seem to have any connector parts. Step 1. I don't see any screws, but it says that there's supposed to be screws here. I don't see any screws at all, so... Supposedly there are no screws, so we're going to take I don't even know if I want these on wheels. I don't know if putting them on wheels would be beneficial so that I can move them around, or if they would harm it more. If that is the case, I'll probably take these out later on. But we'll see how they are with them on. Now I do have 2 of these to put together, and after the first one, the second one should be pretty easy to put together. We have the bottom done. Okay, I am assuming these smaller ones go in here, connected by another shelf thingy. Okay, looks like this is going to be easier than I thought. And of course we're going to want to put these in here. Definitely easier than putting together the outdoor one. And we have 4 last ones that we need to put on. There is no top layer of this, so these 2 are the top pieces. That's what we're going to be putting on up here. This is going to be the top of our greenhouse. Almost done. I'm going to be putting these on. They just set on there, so I'll be able to fit 2. I have 72 cells that I can plant seeds in, and I can fit 2 of these on each shelf. They will each have a heat mat, and they will each have lights being hung from the top of here. Okay, now we have to put the top on. It almost looks like this is upside down. I don't know why. Or inside out. It actually is inside out. Now that might be, okay, looks like we have one done. Okay, there's our first greenhouse course, it opens at the bottom on both sides. We can tie it up here. And then we have 4 shelves. I can tie these on the sides as well. I guess I could leave it open for now, because what this does is basically keep the moisture in. There are a lot of people who will buy domes for the top of their seed starters, so they will take things like this and cut pieces of plastic to put over it to create a moisture area for the plants to grow better. And I don't want to deal with all of that, so enclosing the whole space will retain all that moisture that the seedlings need to start growing up. Okay, I don't exactly know what this is for. Let's see. It doesn't say what this is for. I don't really know what this piece is for. And nowhere in the directions. Oh, I found it. So it goes from the top so that piece I just put underneath here, connecting the top. Okay. Of course, this one should be a little bit easier now that we know how to put it together. Now, the directions do say that you need 2 or 3 people to put this together, but as you could see, I clearly did not need any help at all. I could have used help with my other greenhouse outside, but I ended up doing that one by myself too. Okay, wheels. Wheels. Okay, these again. Now I do notice that there is 2 holes right here, but the directions look like they say to use the top hole. I don't know what the bottom hole would be for. Another layer. layer. Okay, now the top two pieces, and this time we're going to be putting the other piece on before we put the cover over it. Okay, remember this piece? There are two holes on top of the very top, and that's where this piece is going to go. All right, time for the cover. This one is also inside out, and I think I know the reason for that. It kind of probably makes it easier to put on inside out rather than if it were facing forward. We have another one done, yay! All right, I'm also gonna just put this one up just for now. I do close this room so that the cats can't get in here. So it doesn't really matter if these are open right now. I'm not planting anything in here right now. There's also these bottom ones that we're going to put down here. Just basically to hold the cover on. I'm going to roll this into position. I'm going to be putting it right next to the other one. And last but not least, I'm going to be putting these on. Look at that! Love that! Got my setup all ready for the spring and the winter if I want to grow any plants in the winter. That was actually a lot easier than I thought, a lot easier than any of my other assembly videos. I'm going to be putting the links to these mini greenhouses in the description below so that if you guys want to do this, you can as well. I will also be linking the heat mats and the lights in the description so that you will be able to get all the things for the specific setup that I'm going to be using. That wall that I have those against does have an outlet behind it, and considering each of the heat mats and the lights will need different plugins, I'll probably get like an outlet strip to put behind there, but at least there is a source of electricity to power up all of these things and keep the lights on if I do need to overnight, because sometimes you need to make sure that the seedlings that are starting have light and heat the whole time. Sometimes, as if they were growing outside, you might want 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of nighttime. I was doing that for my plants this past year, and although they worked out, I am trying different things to see what grows better. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button below and click the notifications bell so you can receive a notification every time I post a new video, which is every Sunday. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. I had put most everything in, don't put that. I had put most of the Airbnb stuff in the closet, which is what I used for, don't put that either, as well as to create, don't put that. They told me to get, don't put that. You might want the 24 hours, don't put that.